Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
Good morning, Benita.
Good morning, Jose. Well, good afternoon, Jose.
Okay, that is correct. It is a happy hour Friday, coffee break logistics, and a special edition for Thanksgiving. How do you feel about Thanksgiving, huh?
Not just any Friday, it's Black Friday.
Ooh, that is a major statement, Black Friday. I would like to keep it in Thanksgiving. That's my preference.
Well,
what are you thankful for? That is the most important question. And that's what I would prefer to focus my conversation on in this particular week, despite the fact of the Black Friday and everything else, but what we are thankful for.
Well, you know, there's this cartoon that says just two things, Jose, here and now, which really makes me think about mindfulness, the here and the now. I mean, if there's two things that we can all be grateful for, this is it here.
Right. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, after everything that we have gone through, right? I mean, for the last almost year and a half or 2 years, almost, right? We should be thankful for being here, healthy. We are able to talk. We are able to share, and that is something big that we survive all this particular season, difficult season, right? And we should be enjoying. I mean, today, I mean, we have an opportunity to express gratitude today. That is something major, at least in my way of seeing it.
Well, I'm grateful for, you know, being given the opportunity to show up at happy hour with you and Christina. We miss you, Christina.
We miss you, Christina. Again, we're hoping we are going to see her next week. I know, Benita, that you guys celebrate Thanksgiving in a different date. Let us know.
Yeah, that's right. So in Canada,
let us know how that looked like.
In Canada, we celebrate Thanksgiving in October. So ever since I moved down to the States, I've been celebrating it twice a year.
Okay.
And although, like you say, we should be thankful every single day of the year, I'm very thankful that I get to celebrate not one, but 2 Thanksgivings per year.
I would do that if I were in Canada. Definitely, I would pick and choose those 2 dates. Very good excuse to celebrate. I mean, what is the most important meal for the Thanksgiving Day in Canada? Is it still turkey or is something different?
Yes.
So, yes to the first one or the second
one? Turkey, prime rib. What else have we had? We've had like Chinese food before because my family likes to make like half and half, right? So what we would find on our Thanksgiving table is like half Canadian or American food and then half Chinese food.
Wow, that's amazing. And we eat a lot those particular days, right? It's amazing the amount of turkeys that unfortunately they have to be sacrificed and just for our pleasure, right? Millions and millions and millions.
So true. I mean, like this Thanksgiving, I'm going to go over like the whole table and I'm going to make and this is how you usually say grace, right? You go over the whole table and you thank every person, every truck, every animal, every plant, every person, every port, customs authority, rail, the whole supply chain, like every single node on the supply chain helps us to fill our tables. We always talk about from farm to fork, but do we really go back and thank everyone along the supply chain? That's a lot of people to thank, Jose.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. Yeah, we are very simplistic, right? We see, let's say, for example, our turkey on the table, and we don't think what exactly is being taking place in order to get that turkey there, right?
Mm-hmm. We heard that there's 700 nodes in processing meat and getting it from farm to fork, from wherever the cattle farm is to your fork.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's amazing, right?
700 nodes. It is.
Wow. And then still we complain because the turkey is a little bit cold, is a bit hot, is extra pepper or something, whatever the case may be. But still we complain because those little things, and we don't see the whole entire picture, right? Yeah,
True.
We are blessed to have a meal on the table, and regardless of little details, then it's there, and we get around it to celebrate and give grace, as you mentioned.
So true. I'm totally part of the problem here.
Well, human being is part of the problem, right? Every single problem that we have in this society is because us, the human being, right, is the common denominator in everything that we do and everything that we have to experience and suffer.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about some things that we're hearing?
Definitely, we should do that.
So, we kind of touched on it, but let's look at the article that we found.
Well, definitely our supply chain, it has experienced all the possible issues that we can expect, right? That we can foresee. And the good thing is that we have the opportunity to give thanks because still, even though that we don't have all the things that we would like to have, still things are working, not in the same speed, not in the same timely fashion, but we are not in a critical situation where we are unable to eat or get the basic stuff, right? So we should be grateful for having the supply chain even working at the speed that is working right now. Many constraints, many issues, but I see it always in a different way, which is that it gives us the opportunity to be creative, to try different things. That's what I appreciate about challenges, and always is about us, right? that we are going to be able to come out with a different way to do things and be able to improve everything that we have in our hands. So we have to appreciate, I mean, especially the workers that are making everything possible. Last week I saw a video from one of those crane operators. Man, you have, I mean, every single time that you stop and watch what many people through the whole entire supply chain and logistics they do, you get amazed, right? Having in that cabin and be able to see all the containers downstairs and be able to move those from the floor to the vessel and vice versa, that is an amazing job, very detailed, skill, and risky, by the way. And we never thought about those people, but those are part of the chain that make everything possible.
What a great point, Jose. Like when I'm eating my turkey, I don't think about, the crane or lift operators that are basically risking their lives. And especially with COVID, even more so, right? I mean, there's warehouses, and facilities post, how many days they've been without incident or how many days it was since their last accident was.
That is correct, yes. Or thinking about, for example, the drivers going to the terminals, right? Let's say 8 hours waiting in line to get the container and be able to bring that to a warehouse to be stripped, and then those goods to be distributed to where it's going to be common orders and stuff like that. So all this effort, frustration, and struggle comes to those little pieces. This mouse that helped me to navigate my computer, right? For example, I mean, it most likely is being part of that process, right? Coming from the Far East, arriving to Long Beach, and then stripped, put it away into a warehouse, and then fulfill orders that at one point or other then is being received by the end consumer, right? So it's amazing how all this process is taking place and all the effort from many people, many people, make it possible for us to enjoy every single thing that we have.
Yeah, no, I mean, like when I backtrack through my mind of all the things that you're talking about, my heart is exploding with thanks. And I guess that's why I want to talk about the Amazon strike.
All right. Yep. That is a very controversial topic, huh?
Did you hear about it?
I did, yes, definitely I did. Something that is not, I mean, probably is very difficult to collect all the information that is needed for that, right? But for people that they are directly working there and experience what they said that they are experiencing, then it's not something that is very, very nice to experience, right? So tell us more about that. I mean, I don't know any details about this particular article.
Well, I got this article from Melanie Bell, and until she brought it up, I hadn't noticed. But, I already had it in my mind that I'm not going to add to the misery of those workers by ordering a whole bunch of stuff that I don't need.
Right.
And, regardless of whether it's through Amazon or not, it made me feel like a hypocrite. Sometimes my tongue gets tied. I can't say the word hypocrite.
You said it perfectly. Go ahead.
Which appears in the Bible many, many times, doesn't it?
I don't know how many times, but sure enough.
Yeah, like the hypocrisy.
There's two different things. One is to do what is needed, and another thing is to go beyond that and make the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Two
And
different things.
totally. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head, because what is legally acceptable is not ethically acceptable in a lot of cases. And it's not just this instance. Like,
Right.
what about, like you and I were talking earlier, world hunger?
Correct, yeah.
What we do legally and what is ethical and moral are two different things.
Right. And I know, I mean, going back to Amazon, I mean, I know that they have the reputation of that they are not doing the right thing in that aspect. They need to come out and talk about that and be able to find a happy middle for everyone, right? Because at the end of the day, I mean, everything is happening because all these employees that they are working in those distribution centers. And if they are not happy or they are complaining because they feel that they are being mistreated, then that has to be addressed, right?
Absolutely.
And business practices as well. I mean, this is nothing new. This has been spoken for quite some time, where small companies say that they were working with Amazon, and then all of a sudden, I mean, Amazon appear to be doing the same thing that they are doing, or bringing the same products, and then they're out completely. So I'm not here to say who is right, who's wrong, but a malpractice is a malpractice regardless who is doing it, and it have to be addressed, and they have to be rectified.
Yeah, like I just think about how much freedom I have working when people in a warehouse can't even, take their phones out of their pockets to check it, nor can they go on an unscheduled bathroom break.
Correct, yes.
Like, I don't think that, like, I'm totally with you with these things need to be addressed. And just like you say, you have to fix the small things.
Right. Now, to be in the other side as well, I mean, when you sign up for something, then basically you are saying, yes, this is okay, right? It's not that I'm going to sign for that and then I'm going to be a big critic of that. Because why make a decision to join first, right? That it would be the question, right?
I get the feeling that if you're a warehouse worker at Amazon, you don't have very much choice. You don't have a lot of education. You don't have a lot of opportunities. Your problem. Feed more than one mouth and a family. You're trying to pay a mortgage with minimum wage. I get the feeling that, like during when I was laid off, Amazon opened a warehouse in Calgary. And I was doing a whole bunch of creative things because I was like, oh, geez, will I ever work ever again? I'm like 40 years old. No one's going to hire me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to put it to the test. I'm going to pursue every avenue. And one of those things I did was I went to apply at the Amazon warehouse.
Okay.
And it was held, the interviews and everything was held at the convention center. So I had to line up with like 500 people, take a number, get worked through the convention center until finally they sit me down in front of somebody that is like a recruiter. And then I give them all my information, my birthday, how old I am, my job experience, my address, my phone number. And then they made me a badge. I go home. I wait for if I'm accepted or not. And you know what? I got the job. I got the job, Jose. And I am sorry that I listened to my friends and family now, because I could have been an insider. I could be like, what really happened? But when my friends and family told me that those people are worked to the bone, they're expected to be there like really early, and then they're expected to work every second of that shift. So it could be an 11-hour shift, a 12-hour shift, and you can't stop to go to the washroom. You got to put your phone in a locker and lock it away. And I was like, that sounds a lot like what happens in China, in those factories, right? And I was like, how is that different? I was like, I don't think I can hack it. I don't think I can hack it.
I mean, everything is about perception, right? I mean, I have not experienced anything like that. I've been in environments where restrictions and compliance are very, about compliance, right? If CBP says, for example, this is the compliance and you have to do this, and you can have, any device like a phone, then you are not allowed to, and then you have to comply, right? But what I'm saying is, when you sign up for be part of an organization or a specific activity, then you know what it means. Then after, when you are in there, then you cannot complain about that and criticize those practices, right? Now,
I say we can complain. I say that's what unions are for.
Yeah, but for example, let's say CBP is saying you can do this, and then when you are doing it, you said, you know what, I think different. Well, that's not the right time to do that. Why you sign up for that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
right?
So, CBP has, and when we say CBP, we're talking Customs Border Protection Agency, which is part of the umbrella of the Homeland Security.
Right.
And CBP are the border operations, I'm going to call them, but they also have an enforcement division and a policy division, and the revenue collecting arm is the IRS. So if the CBP makes really an impactful policy move, usually there'll be an industry outreach. And during that industry outreach, the big players will come. Like if it's oil and gas, then Exxon and BP and Chevron will show up. And the CBP will say, well, this is what the policy that's going to come out says. So therefore, you cannot or you can do this. And they'll say, they have an opportunity to say, hey, well, our operations in such and such a country works like this. And so are you saying that these rules are going to impact my the lights went out on me. But maybe that's appropriate because I'm going to get into the dark and serious stuff.
I see that.
that
That's Black Friday.
right. It's a Black Friday and it's a blackout in here. You know what it is? It's energy efficiency.
Mhm.
So along with my story here,
Mhm.
this is what what we do as a population to save energy.
Good, good. So you need to be on the move
Right.
to restore the lights.
Right. So before I do that, you were asking like these people just signed up for it. Well, those businesses signed up to do business to import export, but they have a say. They have lobbyists, they
Right.
have advocate groups, they have collective agencies,
Mhm.
they have broker associations, they have freight forwarder associations, all to help them advocate their wants and desires and policies and ways they do business, and all in the name of money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So why can't these workers in a warehouse that basically, no one can even see what happens to them because there's no cameras, there's no transparency.
Right, right.
Why can't they have a voice?
They should. They should voice every single concern, right? What I'm saying is, perception is how you see your reality, right? And not every single time is accurate. That's the problem, that we assume that as a truth, the perception of some people, right? And that is probably not the most accurate way to go about it. Um, I don't know if it makes sense, but if, like, for example, I mean, something that we have reviewed multiple different times is these companies that they deliver food from restaurants, right? I mean, they are doing an amazing job. I mean, no question about it. I mean, someone knocking at your door, delivering the food that you ordered 20, 15 minutes ago, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I mean, especially during the pandemic, I mean, they were heroes completely. And I celebrate that. But at the same time, I mean, there's a group of people that they complain, and they put it in, even for a vote here in Southern California, where they feel mistreated and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was thinking, I said, well, when they joined, they knew the conditions that they are going to be working on, right? Like no vacation time and stuff like that. All these labor concerns, right? Which they are valid, but they knew that when they joined that company, right? So
Right.
what I'm saying is, if they joined the company because it was a benefit that they were getting at that moment, then if they are not happy, then they should be out of that company, right? If they found that the benefit is not there, or the expectation is different from what they signed. Do you get my point?
Oh, I totally do. I totally get that.
And everything is, I mean, I try to
I
put.
totally get that. You might be Mr. Burns.
And everything goes along with the gratitude, right? It's like, for example, I mean, if we work together, right, and you are getting the benefit to work with me, and vice versa, and then your expectation go to a different level, right, and then I am a bad person after that. No, it shouldn't be like that. I mean, your expectations change, then basically something have to change, but that doesn't. I'm not becoming a bad person because that's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
absolutely. But the difference between me and these other people is that they can't leave their situation without suffering.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm like, Jose, I don't really like the way that this deal is going, I'm out of here. Peace out, brother. Nobody's feelings are hurt. Nobody's going to die. There's no fatalities. I can still pay my mortgage, but some of these other people can't feed their kids,
Mhm.
or they have to like do certain things to make ends meet.
You make me remember something that a huge mentor, Jim Rohn, right? That's his name. He says, we are not a tree, right? That we are there forever. So we can move. Therefore,
Right.
if we are not happy, then we should move. We should
Right.
stay what we see that is not right and then move.
Yeah, but we've built this system where it's hard to move. We've built this system where only, you know, the best at this and that, the most educated, they went to Ivy League school, or they have a bachelor's degree, they have this and that, only they can move easily and everybody else can't. So do we have a responsibility to take care of those that can't take care of themselves?
Definitely we do. No question about it. We do. And we need to share what we have, whatever we have, right? That's something that we always should be thinking in that way. Do you know that gratitude improves our brain and physical health? That is amazing, right? So that comes to the point that it's okay to stay what is in your mind, especially when you feel attacked or not treated fairly, right? But there are so many things that we can be grateful for, especially if we know that improves our brain and physical health.
Huge. I mean,
And here is one thing that helps probably everyone, including myself, of course, right? If we express gratitude, then basically it creates happiness, right? So expressing gratitude is not a space for being mad or upset or complaining and stuff like that. So those things won't go together. So I choose gratitude, and because it's going to create the happiness, probably, right?
right. I am grateful that I have the privilege to sit here and contemplate how I can be grateful.
Interesting.
I am grateful that, you know, some people can't even sit down and have these discussions, and that I have this privilege. Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? I mean, the fact that we can say what we think and how we think and what we believe without any hesitation, then definitely we need to be very, very happy and grateful for that.
Yeah, without, like, we live in the arguably the most free and the most uncensored society on earth.
Right. And that's how you improve relationships, by the way, right? I mean, being grateful. There's no choice other than if you're grateful for having, for example, the space to complain, to share, to find different ways. That's how you're going to build a relationship, because you're going to be able to give and make a contribution to whatever the problem is, if it's any.
Yeah. If it's all about collaboration, then, you know, I'm even grateful for the ability to collaborate.
Yeah. And when we compare our situation, at least in America, right, compared with some other countries where the conditions are completely way different. We are probably the richest people in the world, that we can enjoy everything. I mean, we have electricity, we got water, we got everything. I mean, the basic things that we take for granted, then basically we have all of them. So we are the richest people, because there are so many people that they don't have running water.
That's right. Or food.
or food. And with expectation, we plan to celebrate in a Thanksgiving dinner, right? So the limitation is not the food. And even better yet, I mean, all these food banks, I mean, even for people here in the United States, they don't have any food or they experience any hardship, then still they have the opportunity to access to a meal provided for many different institutions or be able to receive the goods as well from many food banks.
Right.
What else are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for technology. Without technology, we wouldn't have met, and I don't think I would have survived this, the last 24 months very well without technology. For all of its ails and all of its the stress it gives us,
Mm-hmm.
the part where it connects us is the part that I'm grateful for. Like, how many people have you connected with this year that you wouldn't have known if the pandemic didn't happen and the only way to connect was through technology?
Right. Yeah, without any question, I mean, technology plays a very important role in our present times, right?
Yeah. So I'm grateful for that. What about you?
Well, I'm grateful for waking up every single morning and put my hand in my heart and sense that it's beating. Because at that moment, I know that I have another opportunity to be a better human being. And then I try to use it the best that I can. And give me the opportunity to be in this particular platform, sharing with you and with the audience. That is amazing. I mean, be able to reach out to people, be able to talk about what I like, be able to talk about the serious problems, be able to talk about potential solutions. I'm grateful for that.
In a safe environment.
In a safe environment, that is correct.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, I just got that feeling in my belly where I just don't even have words for how many people I have to be grateful for. And like the audience, like, sometimes you're going to put out a live stream and nobody's going to watch it. But how grateful am I when somebody says in our DMs, like, like what Dr. Joe said about Coffee Break Logistics and his interview. Like, he loved that. And he said these glowing things about you.
He was very kind, by the way. God bless him.
No, he was very truthful. God bless him, yes, but he was very truthful. And when someone says to me, "Oh, I joined book club and I really thought it was interesting and there was a lot to learn," I'm grateful for the audience. I'm grateful for the ability to connect with my family, even though I'm not in the same country. I'm grateful for my dog.
But of course, right?
Yeah. And, I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for all the people who support who support the food getting from the fork or getting from the farm to the fork.
That is correct. Yes.
It's all people, right?
And people. I mean, it takes people for everything, right? And we can ignore that, and without gratitude and appreciation, I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, to have successful, real, true, successful, and fulfillment. I mean, without all these things, right? We always believe that we need a lot in order to be able to express those. I mean, express gratitude. But it's not. That's not the case. I mean, with everything that we have, we should start with everything that we have, because, as you mentioned, our family is probably the most important, the biggest supporter, right? And every single family is a dysfunctional family. Okay, we can agree to that, probably, right? It's not perfect, but definitely is it plays an important role in our life. So we need to be grateful for our families, no question about it, for our closest loved ones, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm trying to like Google. I think there's this author that says the gratitude poem that says expresses his gratitude. Who wrote is it
Or what?
is it Robert Louis Stevenson that wrote Treasure? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, so he writes a poem that what you said just jogged my memory.
Okay.
Um,
You're going to show us?
I wish I could. I'm having trouble finding it. But while I do that, why don't we talk about the stores that might be closed?
Oh, I like that. That is definitely something good that is happening, because many stores that are going to be closing, right? They won't open on Black Friday. But the main thing here is that those people that are going to be I mean, in previous years that worked for those particular stores, I mean, they are going to be away from their families. And now that, like, the Costco's, the Walmarts, the Target, the Home Depots, Walgreens, CVS, all these big stores, they are going to be closing for Black Friday. Therefore, those people working for those organizations, they are going to have the opportunity to spend more time with their families. And that's amazing, because it is the right thing to do, right? I mean, in the same way that you and I, we have the freedom to spend time with our families and have fun and have a nice dinner and stuff like that. All these people, I mean, they are going to be also joining that group, and it's excellent. I wish every single organization is going to go that path, because definitely that is needed. If we celebrate, I mean, shouldn't be any reason why everyone is going to be able to celebrate as well.
So why did they start doing that? I wasn't even aware, to tell you the truth, because
2020 was probably not the beginning, but I mean, for some companies like Target, I mean, something that I read personally, Target for 2020, because the pandemic, I mean, they decided to be closed for Black Friday, and they are going to continue doing that, and it seems to be that they are going to do it forever. That in Thanksgiving, then it would be some businesses, they're going to be opening a specific schedule, and Black Friday they are going to be closed. So supermarkets, I mean, they're going to be opening Thanksgiving Day in specific hours. I mean, not every single, I mean, many of these supermarkets, I mean, they open 24 hours, and for that day they are going to be closing it like at 10 or even earlier than that, and the following day won't be open. And many companies are trying to mirror that as well, which is good.
Agreed. I'm not going to go out and I'm going to sit on my hands and not order anything.
So no shopping. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't need anything, why you're going to be buying stuff, right?
I don't need anything. There's nothing I need. And every time I'm tempted to buy something, I ask myself, right? Because I'm trying to be mindful about it.
Okay.
So I'm going to share Robert Louis Stevenson's poem. And I don't know if you guys know this one. Tell me if you've heard it before, Jose.
Okay.
Like, this is one of the best works of the best works of literature I've ever seen. And to tell you the truth, like, I think I want it to be read at my funeral. I say this because one of my mentors had it read at his funeral. His name was Randy. So
you're going to read it, because I don't know if I can see it very well from here.
Yes, I'm going to read it. Okay, so this is Robert Louis Stevenson's poem on success. Remember when you said success?
Mm-hmm.
That's what jogged my memory. So this is like something that makes me really grateful every time I read this poem, for many, many reasons. Not just that it's like a piece of literary mastery, but because of Randy, and because every time I feel like I'm not doing enough in this world, I read this and I feel better. So I'm going to share it with you guys. He has achieved success who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has gained the respect of intelligent men and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it, whether by an improved copy, a perfect poem, or a rescued soul, who has never lacked appreciation of earth's beauty, nor failed to express it, who has always looked for the best in others and given the best he had, whose life is an inspiration, whose memory a benediction.
Wow. Powerful, huh? Thank you. Thank you for reading that. Very powerful.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like who's rescued a lost soul, written a beautiful poem, who has witnessed the earth's beauty and not failed to express it. In my Instagram, I always hashtag grateful traveler, grateful foodie, grateful golfer, grateful this and that. And it's because in Instagram, I'm witnessing the beauty of life,
Okay.
and I'm expressing it.
That's a good practice. Being grateful every single day. I mean, very good practice.
Yeah. So that's my contribution, Jose.
Thank you so
I'll
much
just
for sharing.
read that poem to you every year from now on.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to need it, definitely. It's a good reminder.
Well, can you imagine like the first Thanksgiving dinner we ever eat together?
Right.
I think I might cry if I get to meet you. So I'm just warning you right now. If I meet you and I'm crying, it's not because I'm sad.
Now you make me laugh. Thank you so much for that. So, final thoughts for a Thanksgiving Day, a Thanksgiving week, a Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna read that poem and drop my mic.
Good. So I think that we are getting to the end. What we are going to have next week? Next week, we have Sir Anthony Abbott. He's going to be in Coffee Break Logistics. No booking on Thursday, December 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So looking forward to that conversation. It's going to be fantastic, and hearing about different stories and about his new book as well.
And we're not giving him any breaks because on that same Thursday, he has like back to back. We're gonna like kind of launch his book.
Oh yeah. I believe that the book club is going to be the following week. Is not the case?
Oh, sorry, I have my schedules mixed up.
Yeah, I believe that we are going to start on December 9th.
Oh, okay.
For the book club, yeah, his
But
new
still,
book.
he's not going to get a reprieve from us.
Yeah, he's going to be very busy.
Yeah, he's going to be very busy.
Event after an event, right. And without any fault, and then basically we are going to be here next Friday, and we are going to have another happy hour. And hopefully Christina is going to be back with us next Friday.
Yeah. We hope you're well, and we're thankful for you, Christina, wherever you are.
All right. So this is everything for today. And remember, we are better together because we win together. Bye-bye.